something that needs to be said. I need to, first of all, right. I didn't want to come back to this. I thought I resolved this topic. I thought I said I needed all that I needed to say. This is unscripted. This is basically my way of saying and calling the Bungie development team as well as Activision out for their egregious behaviour over the course of the season of Christmas. Christmas is a time all about giving, all about being nice to your fellow human beings in the gaming community and outside in the real world. I've already covered my opinions and thoughts on how the Curse of Osiris went. And now I have to say that Bungie, the fact that there is so much, how can I put it, abuse of taking advantage of your player base, your community, and it extends not just from Bungie's part, but also into Activision as well. Okay? I want to talk about Eververse. I want to talk about Tess Everis. I want to talk about the fact that microtransactions made it into the game as of Destiny 1. As of Destiny itself. Eververse was put into Destiny as a way to pay for free DLC outside of the expansion pass. But in actual fact, this year, as with the Dawning, as with all the issues that Destiny has had, Destiny 1, when the Dark Below came out, there was a paywall behind that. Yet Bungie retroactively fixed it. Like that, snap of fingers, by the community's outrage at this issue. It is now getting to a point where the community is saying, get rid of Tess Everest. Get rid of Eververse, because the loot system is a mathematical scam. If you want to get the full set of the Dawning Armour, it could cost you anywhere between £65, which is in the UK, or $80 if you live in the United States. But the worst thing is, there is no guarantee that you will get a full armor set, because it's all RNG locked. If anyone doesn't know what RNG stands for, it stands for randomly generated number. So it's all down to luck, whether you get the full set of the armor, and whether you get the things that you want from these bright engrams, or these dawning engrams, for cosmetic items. That's egregious. Some of the ways you can obtain bright engrams or dawning engrams is when you level up. Bungie, you had a system in place where it took 80,000 experience points to 1 level up equality. Then, in order to stop people from getting items, you throttled the XP. Okay? You throttled the XP to somewhere near in the regions of 75% of what the player was getting. And then you doubled the experience cap to 160,000 to 1 level to get a bright engram. This is appalling. This is shocking and appalling behaviour. The community that Bungie has built when they became independent, an independent company, it was for the community that they had built. And then they signed a 10-year deal with Activision, a company who has come out and given us the likes of Call of Duty, year after year after year after year. A quick cash cow, as they say. I don't suspect that Bungie is being killed from the inside internally by Activision, and Activision saying what they want and what needs to be done. But the fact, during the season of giving, the Christmas period, there were people waking up to find yesterday, as of yesterday, Destiny 2 on their PlayStation 4s saying buy me, pretty much, at half price, whether you're in the UK or whether you're in the United States. But then what they failed to give the player in order to incentivize that player for buying the game, the season pass was still at full price. I get about talking, I get about making money, I get that, but where is it in any moral compass of a company to egregiously take advantage of a player, or a player base, or a community that has supported them? Because that's, in actual fact, wrong. It's wrong. It's basically telling me, as a player, that you don't care about your community, Bungie, Activision. And I'm sick and tired of the generics of an apology, as we have heard, and I quote, from several departments of Bungie. We are sorry, we are looking into this from community feedback. The community is crying, and you are not listening. You are not listening to what they want. In fact, you have betrayed your player base to the point of where I will travel to the tower right now, with Eververse being restocked, because the reset was yesterday, at the expensiveness of these cosmetic items, where you can buy silver to get these items ranging from £40, or ranging from $4 to $60, ranging from £4 to $34.99 if you live in the UK, for currency that can only be exchanged at Eververse. This is quite honestly, as a person and as a consumer, I'm done. Because you're not, instead of rewarding the player in a season of giving, you want to take. Drain this community of the majority of its money. Drain the community so it looks at you as if to say, really? This right here. I better put myself on a pie, actually. Where you're putting cosmetic items, okay? Cosmetic items behind this.
Welcome, Guardian.
Where you can get sparrows, where you can get shaders, where you can get things behind a paywall for bright dust. You've got buy silver to buy these. You know, this is an example. Look at all this loot pool. Look at this loot pool right here. You can buy this loot. Instead of grinding out, Bungie, Activision, they expect you as a consumer to pay for this. For entirely cosmetic items. And the worst thing is, you know, this is a limited time event, which runs out next week. So instead of giving your community, Bungie, instead of giving your community the ways and the means to grind for this loot, you're causing people to spend upwards between $80 and $100 just to get armor pieces. Cosmetic armor pieces. Dance moves. Shaders. Boons. And you know, and weapon ornaments, cosmetic items, guys, just for the sake of making more money out of the community. The entirety and the reason for Eververse being put into the game was for it to fund free content. And now it's not about funding free content. It's about lining the pockets of a company that does not actually give a crap, a rat's ass, about its community. You know, you can pay between, you know, you can buy a new game for the price of silver, in some cases, that at a discount on the PlayStation Store, at a discount on the Steam Store, at a discount on the Xbox Live Store. You expect a community to stand behind you and stand by you whilst you're egregiously taking the mickey with this paywall system, with this RNG. Will I get this item? Will I not get this item? If I get this item, what will happen? You know, will my RNG go up? You know, again, like I say, when it came to Curse of Osiris in my previous video, which I talked about, which was 5 hours of nothing, it now comes down to the fact that the same issue happened in Destiny 1, where you locked out players, where you locked out the people that bought the vanilla game, and they had to pay for the expansion pass to play the content that they had accessed previously. You did this in the first one, and you did it in the second. That's not on. And then, at the time of giving, during the Christmas period, you give us this, a paywall system of where you can get items, cosmetic items. And that's something as well. You've taken cosmetic items to a whole new level, Bungie, Activision, and you've apologized with little or no remorse to this. You had a job posted for a senior development artist, or whatever it was, and you use, and I quote, incentivizing and monetization in a player base. And then you took that post down. You removed it. Why? Because the community were pissed at you. The community are still, with each and every passing day, the community is just dropping off. From the moment of release, there was an all-time high of players coming in, playing this game, and actually enjoying the game. And then it all of a sudden just dropped off. You removed the player count, which everyone could see on the internet. You removed it because you basically screwed over the community. This is where it needs to end. It needs to end, and it needs to end with Eververse. The fact that the community is saying, get rid of this, get rid of all of this loot, put it back into the game, so players can grind out for it. Make Eververse a quote-unquote token system, like you have every other vendor do, so they can earn Eververse tokens. So you can earn consumables, like the Fireteam Medallion, like the Gleaming Boon of the Vanguard, like the Gleaming Boon of the Crucible, where you can trade for these packages 10 or so tokens. Instead of doing that, you make your community buy a currency that can only be spent here. And then it's all behind RNG if those players get those items. There have been people ever since this whole debacle with the Curse of Osiris, and now with the Dawning. There have been YouTubers like Yong Yi, More Console, you know, people like Cruiser and etc. Some really good content creators actually tearing you a new one, Bungie. Actually saying you're not the same company you used to be. And you're not. And I agree with them. I 100% agree with what the community is crying out for and is extremely angry about. The fact that you give these consumables and their one-time use, like shaders, these cosmetic items, these armor pieces, they're a one-time use. They're only there for limited time events like Iron Banner. Iron Banner is a separate thing. Faction Rally is a separate thing. That's content outside of the game that makes players come back and play it. This right here, this whole screen that my viewers are watching right now, this is egregious, disgusting, and for every fibre of my being, wrong. That you as a company, Bungie, that you as a company, Activision, betray your community into buying all of this nonsensical one-time use shaders, one-time use boons, armor that costs you in between $60 to $80 getting, and that's even dependent on RNG. And then you go as to yesterday, putting on everyone's PlayStation 4s that as featured content, buy Destiny 2 at half price, but the season pass will remain at full price. Why? And I'll tell you why. Because you knew that the community was pissed at you, and you haven't made, instead of making an actual apology and actually saying, I'm sorry, we are sorry as a development team, this is our mistake, we've been too greedy with our community, we have betrayed our community. There are sections on Reddit, there are sections on the Bungie forums saying, get rid of this, get rid of Eververse, change this, because it is killing the game. It is killing a game that is, like I've said in my previous video, it's killing something that could be great. I mean, you know, how do you expect a community to support you when you egregiously, and I've used this word many times, egregiously and greedily lock the majority, if not 100%, of all of these cosmetic items behind a paywall, and then determine it between RNG. I am not having the best time with money as a content creator myself. This is fact. This is fact. And I will not buy I will not buy these consumables, these one-time use items, this pile of shit, because 90% of the time there's a chance that I won't get it. There are people in this community, okay? There are people in this community, Bungie, that stick by you. And you invite them to come play test the games. And you know who they are, and they know who you are. They support you because you give a fantastic game to them. But to some in the community, Eververse is killing the game. To some, putting loot behind a system where it's all randomly generated when it comes to armor pieces like the Dawning armor. That's not right. In 2018, I hope you realize what you have done to this community. I hope that Activision and Bungie realize that
thank you for shopping at Eververse.
These people here are not just to be used. These players are not to be abused. And it is the holiday season, yet the player base has dropped off dramatically. And it's horrible. It's horrible to see a community, a game, whether it's being egregiously corrupted by the developers, companies, or whatever. It's horrible to see that a game like this, after every single problem, after every single issue, player base drops off and they go off somewhere else. So, here's something for you as I smoke a cigarette. Whereas I like to say, let's get serious. Let's talk business.
Your courage against the Red Legion inspires, Guardian.
What you have done, Bungie, first and foremost, as well as Activision, is community abuse. And I say abuse because you are abusing the goodwill of the player base.
I think I've got it. Just browsing. That's fine by me.
You are abusing the people that have supported you from day one.
Clean up.
You have abused.
It's not home yet, but it will be.
You have abused me as a player. I feel abused by a company, and that's the first time I will ever say that. Because I have sat here, okay, and I have played Destiny 1. And I loved it.
Take as long as you like. I can wait.
I have sat here and I have streamed this game regardless of the issues, and had my personal dignity laughed at, in my opinion, by this company, by Activision and Bungie. Instead of receiving a heartfelt and honest to God, respectable and responsible and heartfelt apology, I feel like I've been abused by a company. I have stopped streaming this game on my channel because I can't put my name to it. Because Bungie can't be bothered to go back to what it was. There was a quote given by the guy who actually founded Bungie, which you fired him, and he sued you and won. You are taking this community by the bollocks and putting things behind loot boxes and paywalls out of greed. Nonsensical greed. You are destroying your own vision for a game that people liked, that people wanted, that people simply couldn't stop playing from years 1 to 3. Destiny 2 comes out. Same issues happen. Paywalls. Content that could be accessed, but you had to pay for it in order to play it. You had to get the season pass if you didn't have it. That's the second time this has happened in the whole entirety and lifespan of Destiny. It happened with the Dark Below, and it happened with the Curse of Osiris, where people had to pay an extra $20 to pay content that they previously had access to in the vanilla game because they didn't buy the season pass. The whole importance of a season pass is to tell your players, this is the content we have got for you. Full and produced content. And now people are saying, get rid of Eververse. Yeah, no. One of my viewers right now has just said this perfectly. It just said it perfectly, and I'll quote this. To me, it sounds like they are intentionally trying to alienate their customers, and I agree. I agree with that sentiment. I agree with the fact that as much as I love this game, as much as I agree with this grind and loot, why should I grind a game out where I could just, if I wanted to, pour money into it to get what I want? That's technically pay to win. That's technically pay to win. It's the same thing that EA did with Battlefront 2. Okay? Battlefront 2 had received so much critical backlash. They got media coverage. Okay? They got media coverage to the point it made national and international news because of these loot boxes. Where has the media coverage been for Destiny 2?
I've been saving up money for an Eververse commission for weeks now.
Step on up. Take a look.
I've just heard an NPC say, I've been saving up for an Eververse commission for a while now.
As long as you like.
That's an NPC saying that, and I can hear it in my ears. I am sick and tired of, as a content creator and as a player of this game. I'll play this game off stream, and I won't stream it because I feel that my player base, my community, the community that I'm building as a content creator, doesn't deserve to have this shoved in their face. This egregious, rude pile of shit that Bungie refuses to categorically Hands up, say, we are sorry.
Almost picked up a gun
We
myself.
are sorry. We are sorry that we haven't listened to the community. We are sorry that we have betrayed our community. We are sorry that we have basically turned this game
Eververse is
into a steaming pile of shit. This video won't be monetized because I've sworn in it. That's fine.
Want to take a look, Carly? Eververse is not to offer.
But I am gonna have to point out and say this now. Here comes the shade. And this is coffee, by the way, so here comes the shade. As a community, right? As somebody who says, as a content creator, my job is to provide my community, my subscribers, and much better than that, a company. I am to promote what I am given. And I cannot 100% wholeheartedly promote this content when, in an actual fact, I know in my mind, and in my head, and in my heart, that this is an egregious money scheme, scam, to abuse its community. And as a content creator, I can't put my name to it. I can't put it into categorical sense that as a community, as part of the community, as a player, I can't categorically say that I support this game anymore. Because of the constant videos I see on YouTube about the pay to win,
Take as long as you
the
can.
abuse of the community, the sheer outrage that the community is crying for. Yet, I will go back to this again. EA made mainstream news, international and mainstream news, where the state of Hawaii, where it had to have government intervention because of loot boxes, because of paywalls,
Almost picked up a gun
because
myself,
of
but
essentially gambling
luckily then.
in a game where people as young as 12
Fenchurch doesn't
were
need
buying
all
into these loot boxes.
the deals.
This community is being abused. I have been abused.
Eververse isn't just a title, it's a family philosophy.
I feel that
And forever another tomorrow.
I feel that Bungie, I feel that Activision,
Rhythmic physical expressions won't win a
I
fight.
feel
Feeling good is better. Eververse isn't
I feel
just a
disappointed.
title, it's a family philosophy.
I feel like I have been betrayed.
And forever.
I feel like the community, who I'm very much in touch with, has been betrayed because of greed and nonsensical paywalls,
Eververse isn't just
cosmetic items that you can use once, shaders that used to change your guardian's appearance, are now a one-time use consumable. If you want to get a full set of items, you can buy them. There is no grind. I can't anymore. I can't, in good conscience, promote this. I can't, in good conscience, promote this game anymore. With a time of giving and a time of joy.
It's a family philosophy. Always another buyer, and forever.
You had an opportunity, Bungie. You had an opportunity with the Dawning to reach out to your community base and just say, I know we've screwed up. I know we have betrayed our community. Here is something. Here's a bunch of bright engrams.
Anything you want?
But no, I have to pay for them. I'm sorry that you feel the need to give the community an appalling, unapologetic apology, which is very unsincere. We hear the community, and we are working on change. I used to enjoy Destiny 2, and then I took a paywall to a knee. Mainly that knee was my wallet. I am sick and tired of seeing videos calling you out, Bungie. I'm sick and tired of community news videos on YouTube going up saying that we are angry. We are the community. We are done. What more can I say to show you the error of your ways? I could promote this game and say, Bungie, listen to the community. Listen. By force, if needs be, and if I have to.
This city is all that we have.
If I have to make a big spectacle of the fact that the community has been betrayed by Eververse, a means where you made microtransactions, which the community knew about, which the community was like, okay, it'll pay for future DLC, free content. We're okay with it. But to then put into perspective how much greed you can put into pulling out as much money as you can from your community. If any of my subscribers right now wish to see physical proof of the Bungie forums, go to bungie.net/forums and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll find videos on Eververse.
Don't get too distracted by the new setup, guys.
And why people are calling for it to go. You will see videos on YouTube calling out Bungie for its lack of insincerity and monumental and colossal screw-ups. This game is dying. This game, for every intent that Destiny 1 was to carry on the legend, just doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the sense and fact that as a community, players are done. I said in my last video, 75% of me wants to leave this game, take it out of my PlayStation 4, put it back in its case, put it in its collector's box, and let it gather dust. But 25% of me,
Need some new moves, Guardian? Maybe a
25% of me
We drove the Red Legion out.
could
We'll do the same to whomever comes
work
next. It's
towards
easy
making
math,
this
Guardian.
game
You got the silver,
better.
Eververse has the goods.
could make this community what it once was.
Down to the city and up again.
No hurry.
Commute and promote this game
Hi again.
with good intention.
Please, Guardian. It's busy.
Destiny isn't fun anymore.
Looking for anything
Guardian?
special?
I can get you inside.
Destiny isn't fun anymore. Destiny isn't great anymore. Destiny has become an egregious, an outrageous, disgusting
Ready to check.
way to portray a community that you have built,
Don't get too
Bungie and
distracted
Activision.
by the new setup, Guardian.
Tis the season to scam. Is that what you're thinking? It is the season to rip off your player base.
No word from
Not
Fenchurch
anymore.
today.
Not me. Not now.
You must have found something interesting.
I'm done.
Oh, let me check.
With every video that I have seen. With every video that I have seen on YouTube saying the community is done.
Hi.
I am done.
This city is all that we have.
I will follow suit.
We abandon it.
You must have
What's
messages.
left?
Anything you want?
If I abandon this game,
Ready?
part of me will abandon an
Red
integral,
Legion have made it harder to get my shipments through, but I'll manage.
an integral
It's easy.
foundation
You got the silver. Eververse has the goods.
of what created my channel. A
Eververse has the
building
goods.
block.
Hi again.
Fenchurch, there's a lot of
I
fantastic things.
am now going to say these words. These words are finite, indefinite,
Searching. 2 hours to the vault. 2 hours back.
and
Hi again.
my last.
Clean up dust,
It-
reorganize my inventory. It's not home yet, but it will be. Need some new moves, Guardian?
It is with a heavy heart, as someone who loves this
Throw the
game.
Red Legion out. We'll do the same to whomever comes next.
Bad rattle in this one.
I'm out.
Take as long as you like. I can wait.
I'm done.
Package for Banshee. Oh dear. Tick, tick, tick.
I can no longer support this
Anything
game
you want?
Hi.
with the length and breadth of the community being not only abused in terms of Eververse,
Fenchurch, there's a lot of
in terms of
fantastic things.
paywalls, in terms
3 hours
of unsincere and unapologetic generic apologies.
Guardian.
I'm done.
Let's check. You must have messages.
As it is the way
The Red Legion have
with
made
all
it
games.
harder to get my shipments through, but I'll manage.
I'm done.
Bad noise.
Goodbye.
Hi again.
Eververse
There's the
deals
mic
in
drop.
all manner of goods.
The mic drop that
Dead Orbit will take
I
whatever
would
you can donate.
have had.
Where my uncle
Clothes,
finds
parts,
these things.
tools you don't use.
Goodbye.
It's easy math, Guardian.
I'm
You
out.
got the silver, Eververse has the goods.
And the reason why I say I am out is because
Don't get too distracted
right away.
by the new setup, Guardian.
until Bungie
Ready and waiting.
really apologizes and makes a heartfelt
No word from Fenchurch.
apology.
He must
Not
have
just
found something.
we've listened to the community's feedback.
Oh dear.
We are hearing you. If you'd heard us, you would have removed the paywalls. You would have removed
Don't get too distracted by the new setup,
The-
Guardian.
Eververse. You would have been so underhanded with betraying this community. I think I have stated many reasons here today
Same to whomever comes next.
that this game isn't worth my time anymore. My investment, my content production time. Having seen videos today, yesterday, over Christmas, the next DLC is called The Gods of Mars.
Clean up dust, reorganize my inventory. It's not
I may come back
but it will be.
in the spring for this DLC. I may. Because I have paid money to play it.
New booths, Guardian? Maybe a new
I have paid for a season pass that will now, in notoriety, in my mouth, the taste will feel, if anything, disgusting.
welcome to all Eververse.
I'm now gonna follow this icon, pick up my loot, and then walk away.
I appreciate what you're saying, Tyra. And what can I do for you? Be careful out there.
Anything you need? Strike with precision, Hunter.
I'm done.
Anything else? Let me know.
I'm sorry. I am apologizing to my viewers who have supported me throughout my Destiny career for the decision that I have made. I have based this decision on a number of factors.
Someone check the cameras and station. Happy to help. Those are hard to find these days. Think nothing of it. Always a pleasure.
You want some music on?
Someone's been tampering with it. There you go. Caught another one smuggling worm spore out.
I am leaving this game, this franchise, because there has been no real, heartfelt and sincere apology. There has been no real warrant for the egregious behavior and outright disgusting, cruel intention of draining the community for every single penny, like Bungie and Activision have done. Like I say, they put in the Eververse to pay for free DLC in the future.
I'm nobody special, Guardian. I just do this.
Those are hard to find.
If you've enjoyed this video, comment, rate, like and subscribe, because if you want to say and call me out and say that I am wrong in my opinion, then feel free to do so in the comment section below. If you feel that you want to stand with me and bring as much media attention to Destiny and Bungie over their egregious behavior, over their disgusting, deceitful ways, then feel free to. I'm done. Unless Bungie can make an official statement, an official apology, and an official apology to the community, not just a generic one. Destiny 2 was my go-to game to kick butt in Crucible, have a good time, play a good storyline, as well as promote decent content. But with every action that has happened outside for Eververse, for the DLC, which was rushed, for content that was cut, for yesterday's egregious and outright disgusting behaviour by putting the Destiny 2 icon on people's PlayStation 4s to buy it, at a discounted price, when the community has already told you they are pissed at you. I can't support that anymore.
Everyone thinks Marcus Wren has left his SRL days behind, but I saw him racing a sparrow on the wall.
Goodbye, Destiny. Goodbye to an integral founding part of my channel. I'm done. Goodbye. This is goodbye. And also, I'm out.
I need your attention one moment.
Bye bye, Hunter.